Yo, 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 it's your boy D to the L to the S, and welcome to Lost in Transition, coming from a sinner to a born again Christian. See, I was dead up in my sin. Now that I'm born again, sometimes I feel like I'm struggling because I was lost in transition. Welcome. This is another segment, and today I will be talking about faith. I mean, just it's self-explanatory. I'm gonna be talking about faith. I'm gonna be, breaking it down from a good and a bad point of view, of testimonies and things that I went through in my life regarding faith. And you know me, I love to give the definition of things, because it gives you a better understanding. And here's the definition of faith, and this is the biblical definition. Faith, complete trust or confidence in someone or something or in God. I'm going to say that again. Faith, complete trust or confidence in someone or something or in God. And I'm going to pose two questions on today. Who are you putting your trust in, and what are you putting your trust in? I'm going to say that again. Who are you putting your trust in, and what are you putting your trust in? And I'm going to break down each one of them, from a good and a bad point of view. See, who I would put my trust in, I'm going to give you the bad point of view. See, I was pretty much putting my trust in man because, actually growing up, I didn't have the greatest things. So I always seek man to also, give me the resources to obtain those things. There ain't nothing wrong with having a job, taking care of responsibilities, but where you depending on man more than you depending on God, it becomes a problem because, in the Bible it talks about, that's the first commandment, thou shalt not have no other gods before him. And the reason he says that, because he gives them the ideas. I mean, he formed the earth into existence, even the universe. So he gives us these supplies to do these things, and when we trust in man over him, it becomes a big problem. See, me, that was my problem because I was always looking, to man to bail me out of the situations that I put myself in. I never asked God for help pretty much on anything. I always wanted to try to do it myself, and then even when godly people come around and try to give me godly advice on how to do stuff, I was like, very prideful, because I'd be like, you know what, I did this myself, I can do this, I can do that, and then it would turn around for the bad because I would end up slipping. Then later on it comes condemnation, and then I want to try to start turning to God for things. But even then, I still have in the back of my mind that I'm going to try to do this by myself. I'm the king of my own castle, can't nobody rule, can't nobody tell me nothing and everything. And that was a very bad issue of me trusting in people, because sometimes people can also hurt you. That's why God, tells us, do not put your trust in man, because God is not going to leave you nor forsake you, but man will. The moment you mess up with man, they'll turn their back on you just like that. And that's just being real talk. And I'm going to go ahead and give you the good part about who I was putting my trust in. When I really just, got out of that stage of trying to do it on my own, very prideful and things like that, when I started trusting in God, I started seeing doors open for my life. I started to see new beginnings. I started to see revelation. I started to have a different mindset on how things operate. And that's when God just really started speaking to me personally, not just through people, but start hearing that voice personally. And it's nothing like hearing the voice of God personally, because he gives you that peace, he gives you that joy, and he gives you that comfort, knowing that whatever you're going through and whatever you're trying to obtain by faith, you will receive it. I mean, when God started doing that, my whole life changed around. And that's just like, man, I just love it because he cares about us. And I'm just encouraging you, he cares about you and me. He cares about our needs and everything. But it would not be obtained without faith. Then I'm going to go into the second question real quick. It is, what are you putting your trust in? We went from who, now from what. Now see, me, I had the bad things about possessions, having stuff, and then that also comes a result of trusting in man, because if you look around on TV, you listen on the radio, they want you to have this car, this house, this outfit, these shoes, these haircuts, nowadays these glasses, these shades. They want you to have this, this, and that. And see, me, I was very materialistic because of me living in a poverty situation that I was raised up in. I always wanted things. Like I wasn't fortunate to have like the new Jordans and things like that growing up. So when I actually started trying to get money, I started chasing after those possessions, you know, obtaining shoes and clothes and things like that, and wondering why I was always going into debt. Oh, I had a job, but I was putting the material things over my priorities. I was putting the material things over my responsibilities. You see, that's what happens when I put my trust or my faith in those things, you know, because it was killing me. It was really killing me, and it was knocking me down, and it was always holding me back, and even putting me in financial debt because of things like that. So that was the bad of what I put my trust in. And see, when I put my trust in actually investing in better stuff that I needed and not what I wanted. I'm gonna say that again. I started investing on what I needed and not just what I wanted, because, you know, I needed, you know, clothes, but certain clothes, I didn't have to get all the expensive clothes and all the expensive shoes and everything like that. You know, God started supplying me what I needed, because the Bible does says God will supply your needs, not your greed, your needs according to his riches and glory. So when I put my trust in him, he started showing me that these are my needs. Like, I need food in the house over trying to get, you know, a system for my car. I needed, you know, nice shoes on my feet. You know, I work, so I needed work shoes. I needed work clothes. I needed all of those things just so I could, you know, pretty much live. And those are the things I needed. So when I put my trust in him, he gave me the direction to get the things that I needed instead of what I just wanted. And here's a quote. You know me, I love quotes. I love it, I love it, I love it. And this is a good one too. God didn't promise good days without pain, laughter without sorrow, or sun without rain. But he promised strength for the day, comfort for your tears, light for your way. If God brings you to it, he will bring you through it. Man, that is good. I'm going to have to read that one more again. That was good. God didn't promise good days without pain, laughter without sorrow, or sun without rain. But he promised strength for the day, comfort for your tears, and light for your way. If God brings you to it, he will bring you through it. Man, I just love it. Y'all, and then, you know, this is a scripture that comes to mind out of Hebrews 11:1. And unfortunately, I forgot my Bible at the house, so I'm going ahead and read it. This is, you know, by faith we understand. You know, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. See, we hope for those things. You know, we hope that we get this job. We hope that we, you know, get into this career. We hope we get into this school. We hope we start this project. We hope that we get, you know, physically fit. We hope for all of these things. But the thing is, when it comes to faith, you got to actually believe that it's actually going to happen. Or better yet, that it already happened. Time's just got to catch up to itself. And then I'm going to go ahead and go a little deeper. I'm going to read all the way from starting at verse 4 of Hebrews 11 through verse 6. Now this is pretty much talking about the dawn of faith, the history of faith. And this is going to be referenced back to, you know, in the book of Genesis. By faith, Abel offered to God a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, through which he obtained witness that he was declared righteous. God testifies of his gifts throughout, being dead still speaks. And this is going to talk, in the next verse is going to be talking about Enoch. By faith, Enoch was taken away so he did not see death, and he was not found because God has taken him. For before he was taken, he had this testimony that he pleased God. Let me say it again. That he pleased God. I mean, he pleased God so much that he took him up. He did not see death. And here's verse 6 that, you know, a lot of people might have heard this scripture, and a lot of people might know this scripture. And this is, you know, very true. But without faith, it is impossible to please him, for he comes to God must believe that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek them. I'm going to read that one more again. But without faith, it's impossible to please him, for he comes to God must believe that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. Man, I just love it. Because God is a rewarder. But first, you got to seek first the kingdom, and all of its righteousness will be added unto you. You got to seek him. You can't be seeking objects. You can't be seeking people. You can't be seeking after fame, fortune, money, all that other, stuff that's going to, perish when he comes back. You got to seek him. You got to seek the creator. You got to seek him, the one that gave the ideas to the ones that invented the stuff. You got to realize that all of this stuff comes from God. He gave somebody an ideal, way back, and then they invented this thing, and then now with the times changing, they enhanced it a little bit more. But it all comes from faith. Even God had faith at the beginning of time. I mean, he spoke everything into existence. He had so much faith that he knew when he said, "Let there be light," there was light. When he said, when the grass and the trees and the waters and all that formed, all he said was, boom, there it is. He didn't have no doubt. He didn't think, well, maybe the light will come. Well, maybe the earth will be formed. Maybe this and maybe that. No, he knew without a shadow of a doubt, soon as he says it, it's going to come to pass. And that's the same kind of faith that you have to have in your life. You got to have that God faith. And I'm going to go ahead and give you another quote because I love quotes. Faith is all about believing. You do not know how it will happen, but you will know it will happen. Let me read that again. Faith is all about believing. You know how it will happen. You don't know how it will happen, but you know it will happen. Man, then you got to realize there's a difference between believing and faith. You can believe for something, but you don't have that faith for it. You can believe that you're going to get this and you're going to get that, but then you start doubting yourself. Sometimes, God will allow us to go through some things to test our faith. We can be believing that, we're going to get this car. I mean, your finances might not line up to it, but you still believing that, one day God is going to bless you with the finances or even the resources to get this car. We believe in it, but sometimes when other, unexpected stuff happens, that's when, your faith starts diminishing. God can be done promised you, a car or a house or anything just pertaining to what you need. You might be riding in that hoop deal, you might be in that broken down house, but sometimes God allows things to happen. He want to see, how are we still going to bless his name? Are we still going to give him glory after we obtain those things, or are we going to start being stingy? Or we're going to start being, prideful and start puffing up our chest saying that we did this and we did that. No. See, he knows your heart. He even knows what you're going to say before you say it. So you got to have that faith. But also, believing in faith goes hand in hand, because you can't have faith without believing and believing without faith. Once you start believing, you got to have that faith that it already has happened. And time just got to come together, and it's not your timing, it is God's timing. Yo, it's your boy D to the L to the S, Lost in Transition, Faith. Holla at your boy. God bless. To stay updated with my latest videos, motivational quotes, and upcoming music, and also my upcoming devotional, subscribe at youtube.com/DSealman4. Also, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram on DLS_DTX. I'm on Facebook as Derek Sealman, and my artist page is at DLS. God bless.